You scroll social media and see it. Bright smiles, beach vacations, luxury aesthetics, and bulletproof confidence. It looks like happiness, it feels like success. You try to chase it too. You make the vision board, you repeat the affirmations. You wish for the day when your emotions stop being unpredictable and your bank account stays full. But here's the bitter medicine of the wise. That day may never come, and it's okay. Because a happy life, at least the one sold to you and me by the modern world, is not only an illusion, it's a spiritual blind alley. And the earlier you stop chasing this version, the earlier you'll return to walk the real path of depth, truth, and lasting inner freedom. At the end of this two-part video, you will learn 4 things. First, what the happy life we are told to want really contains. Second, the nature of emotions as a whole and why they are an unreliable pole to lean on in this quest. Third, the 10 false promises of the happiness at all costs illusion and what your soul wishes you knew. The first 6 now and the second 4 in part 2. And fourth, some real-life situations and interactions where our search for happiness at all costs within them often fails us. And after a jolt or rude awakening, truth intervenes, rescues, and resets us to the wisdom of higher awareness, as well as how you can build a life beyond this illusion. This will be wholly addressed in part 2. If you're tired of having to manipulate and pretend your life is a picture-perfect experience or riding the happiness-all-the-time hamster wheel, then this is your get-out-of-jail-free card. So what is the happy life we're told to want anyway? We're taught that true happiness equals constant emotional highs, relationship success, financial abundance, validation, and admiration, and that sense of arrival, like I've made it. But here's the thing. The top 1% of spiritual thinkers know this version of happiness is really just emotional consumerism. It teaches you to treat happiness like a physical product, to be bought or earned, then owned, displayed, and reached for as a pillar of support whenever we feel empty on any level. Honestly, this operative mindset is fake and hollow and sets you up for failure every single time. That's why you feel like a huge letdown to yourself every time you feel any other legitimate emotion like grief, fear, doubt, or disappointment. Thus, this lie you tell yourself distracts you from a more soul-anchored way of living, the true source of lasting happiness. What is the nature of emotions? Emotions are kind of like waves. They rise and then they fall. No feeling really sticks around continuously without any interruption. Not happiness, not sadness, not even confidence or connection. Trying to cling to happiness as the only valid emotion you must experience in life is a bit like trying to surf on a frozen wave. It just feels unnatural. It takes a lot of control, and honestly, the more energy you invest in that fruitless venture, the more tense and less free you end up feeling. The wise, they don't chase after perpetual happiness. For them, it's just another emotion, something to engage with when it shows up, and to let go of when it passes. What they really seek is inner space. That ability to hold whatever comes up without flinching. That is true strength, that is true mastery, and that is true freedom. Here are the first 6 of 10 false assurances the happy life illusion promises but always fails to deliver. Number 4 is so common these days and will make you chuckle hard and possibly fall off your chair. 1. Once I'm financially free, I'll feel secure. Financial peace is wise, but emotional security and stability is an inner condition. You can have millions and still feel anxious, sad, and depressed. How can that secure permanent happiness? True safety comes from a regulated nervous system and consistent self-trust. Money can enhance options, but it can't buy permanent happiness. That's an illusion. When we equate freedom with finances, we sustain the energy of the trauma that taught us money meant survival. So please seek inner safety. It outlasts market crashes. 2. When I find my soulmate, I'll feel whole and happy. Most people don't realize that relationships are powerful mirrors, not repair shops. Wholeness isn't gifted by a partner, it's built through self-acceptance. Relying on love to fix emptiness leads to codependence, not union. When you treat a soulmate as a savior, you abandon your own growth. Real love begins with your relationship with yourself. A soulmate can enhance your wholeness but not replace it, for they too are incomplete and seeking their own wholeness. Three, if I stay positive, I won't feel pain. Positivity is beautiful, but forced optimism can be a mask. Looking pain in the eye and resolving it is part of the healing path. Avoiding it, well, it just creates inner splits. Shadow work asks us to hold and transform our anger, grief, and doubt without shame. Real transformation, in truth, includes some discomfort. Avoiding pain only delays growth. And feeling your pain is not failure, it's actually the way through. Four, more followers means more worth. Social media clout can become like a false currency for value. Validation metrics don't equal internal worth. Worth is not earned, that's the ego's futuristic utopian thinking. It is remembered as a value that pre-existed in divinity, one which you had long forgotten but must now reconnect with your soul to reclaim. Seeking followers over self-respect only leads to spiritual emptiness. Because external applause fades quickly when inner alignment is missing. Your soul didn't come here to go viral, it came to wake up. Five, if I'm always smiling, people will love me, that means I am happy. But, chronic smiling can actually be a trauma response, not real joy. People-pleasing dilutes your truth and builds inevitable resentment. True connection, honestly, requires vulnerability, not perfection. You don't need to be liked by everyone, just loved by those who see the real you. Smiles that hide pain, they cost too much. Say what's real, even if your face trembles momentarily. You will eventually surely feel happier for it. Six, I am always inspired and spiritual, so that means I am happy. This is sad, but spirituality isn't really about outer performance of speech, adornments, or actions. It's about inner practice. Acting all bubbly to create an outer impression is ego jive, plain and simple. Happiness sought in spirituality can't be based on a fleeting emotion. Spiritual growth is anchored on silent devotion and shows up on those bland and tasteless days when visible excitement and inspiration are, well, totally gone. Real seekers, they show up for silence, not just for the big revelations. If you only connect when it feels magical, you're honestly just in love with the aesthetics and fanfare of the spiritual experience, not the actual essence of it, and you won't go far. Disillusionment and unhappiness will soon overtake you. Authentic devotion and faithfulness, even though it might feel like boredom at first, that's what builds spiritual maturity. Let depth and presence matter way more than those passionate displays of empty happiness the world requires of you. You owe yourself better. Congratulations for coming thus far. I believe you are already beginning to see the many misconceptions you possibly held or still hold about the emotion of happiness. Between now and the second part of the video, I sincerely hope you will begin to work on them. Anchoring your life on a fluctuating emotion such as happiness is obviously a poor investment of energy. In part 2, we will look at the remaining 4 falsehoods we must uproot before we begin to plant the seeds of permanent and profound peace in our lives. A peace that does not fluctuate with the times and seasons and circumstances. The new kind of happiness, which will arise from that foundation, will not need outer energy to sustain it. It will be a gradual, self-sufficient, and totally unforced outer bubbling from the fullness of your inner stability, peace, confidence, and joy. We will also look at the real-life examples where our search for happiness with the wrong mindset almost always fails. In these examples, the common thread is that truth rescues us, sometimes with painful but ultimately useful lessons, and resets us on a more lasting foundation of reasoning, action, and living. We will also demonstrate how you can build a new life to replace the current one you are living if, at the end of that video, you discover that, all along, your life has been based on the emotional happiness illusion. On that note, I now invite you to like, share, and subscribe to be part of that upcoming experience. Until then, as you spread this ripple of love, remain blessed and renewed on all levels.